Hey everyone! So, The Owl House is over now, and I originally was gonna make a whole big scripted thing looking back on the show. An idea I had was making it something like The Owl House versus Amphibia, a reductive exercise. But now that the finale's come and gone, that idea feels even more reductive than it already would have been, so here's an awkward and hopefully short video just collecting my thoughts. Spoilers, by the way. It was really good and fun. A lot of satisfying bookends. I love that the whole thing really focused on the original group of Luce, Ida, and King. I love that Ida got one last teaching moment with Luce. I love that we got to meet King's dad. I love that we got to murder Bellows instead of pulling a Steven Universe and doing a last minute redemption. It was a great time. I was a little irked because, for me personally, I'm always looking for big character growth moments, and this episode didn't really have that. But that's only because the previous episode, For the Future, did all that stuff already. Really, I think season 3 as a whole, or at the very least these last two episodes, work better as a whole than they do as separate episodes. That way, we get all the culminations of the character arcs and all the action packed final satisfaction in one story. Some little nitpicks I had: I wish Hootie got to do or say anything during the finale. I was kind of put off when Rain joined the final battle, and just Rain. Like, Lilith still hasn't gotten any kind of hero moment, or again, Hootie. And something that I was very specifically hoping would happen was some kind of resolution to Ida's curse. Especially since we all theorized that the Collector originally created the curse, I just thought that by the end we'd finally get to separate Ida and the Owl Beast and see Ida's magic return to its former glory. But again, these are nitpicks. Can we talk about those epilogue designs? Like, holy shit, Amity and Ida look so good. Not to mention Luce's Titan design. The fan art practically draws itself. I should say, by the end of it all, I'm still not sure if the Collector's presence in this story was really fully justified. And I know I'm only thinking about them in that way because we happen to know they were a product of the Season 3 shortening, and they're my profile pick, so obviously I adore them, at the very least aesthetically, but I don't know. I could kind of tell they're only here to speed up certain plot beats. We gotta resolve the Day of Unity faster, we gotta push the crew to the human realm faster, Bellows has to learn about the Titan's power faster. The Collector feels like a plot device to help raise the stakes quickly, but ultimately Bellows was always the big bad, and the Collector came off as a big distraction. This isn't really a complaint, more just an observation. Again, at the end of the day, I love this little goober, so all's well that ends well. Just something interesting to think about. Okay, so I did mention in my last video that The Owl House was a very real contender for my favorite show ever if it managed to stick the landing with its ending. So, did it? Well, it was a perfectly fine ending. It felt right, and that's all we really could have asked for given the circumstances. I came away from it feeling less emotional and more just plainly satisfied by the whole thing, compared to how I reacted to some of my other favorite shows ending. Which, if you don't know, my top 3 are Avatar, Steven Universe, and Gravity Falls at number 1. So by the end of it all, I don't think Owl House cracks that top 2. Steven Universe and Gravity Falls were such formative shows for me that it would take something really knocking my socks off to dethrone them. But I think right now I'm willing to give Owl House that number 3 spot, mostly for all the highs I had through the best of the first 2 seasons rather than anything in this ending. I love Avatar, but there are days where I feel like my love for it can be performative just because, everyone loves it, and for good reason, but sometimes I feel like I'm just going with the crowd on that. So I've got a new third favorite show, and that feels good. Alright, I really did want this to be super short, so, anything else I wanted to say? I guess since this is already a weird format, I'll just talk about some other major media I've consumed recently. I thought the Mario movie was a really great time. The plot wasn't anything special, which makes it a perfect representation of Mario, so that's fine. Honestly, my take is pretty similar to most YouTuber takes, so yeah, if you like Mario, watch the Mario movie. More interestingly, I played that Sonic Murder Mystery visual novel, and that was a blast. Low-key my favorite Sonic game, because, let's be real, the appeal of Sonic is the cast, so just going through a little story with them is the best. What else? Channel stuff? If you guys want to hear channel stuff, I already said this in a community post, but hey, thanks for 100 subscribers. I'm excited to keep making stuff for you all. This channel's gonna end up being kind of all over the place since I kind of just make what I want to make at any given time. My next few video ideas range from an analysis of a very specific aspect of Disney movies, a look back at some old Nickelodeon stuff, and a really basic Persona 5 video idea, but I really just got a vent about that game, so that's probably what's gonna happen first. I appreciate any of you sticking around for whatever is coming down the pipeline. Alright, with all that said, bye!